Good morning, and it's Lilia here from Heal Scotland, Scotland's Wild Medicine. And this morning I've got the incredible, fascinating fermenting forager, Janice Clyne. Hey Janice, how you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, Lillian. Thanks for having me on. Sorry about the technical issues.
Oh, no problem at all. That was just a couple of seconds, no bother. So listen, I'm so grateful that you're coming to the festival. And for two reasons. One, obviously, to be able to tell everybody about your incredible wellbeing hub, and to give not just the adults but also this year families and children little tips on the microbiome. So thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful for your time, because I do know how busy you are and how much passion and time you put into your you can't really call it your business, it's your living absolute
It is.
mission, isn't
I
it?
mean, it really is. I mean, and I love nothing better than sharing my stuff, Lilia. I
Yes.
really do, because I know that it inspires people. When people see how simple it is to make a few simple changes, what I absolutely love most of all is to take along samples of fermented things for people to try. Because generally speaking, and again, when you're talking about kids as well, an awful lot of the time, I think parents are, they're not up for letting their kids try stuff, and kids are generally quite up for trying things. I mean, I was at a workshop yesterday with Vicky, my foraging friend, and there was quite a few kids, and they were all trying all like the fermented carrot kraut and the different things. They were eating nettles and stuff, and actually quite enjoying it, because it's somebody they'd say, "Oh, come on, just come and give it a go," and everybody really loved it. So it's just me sharing my passion, Lilia. But the thing is now, with all the fermented stuff, the scientific evidence is there to back up the absolute massive benefit that it has for our health. It really is, and you just can't deny that. So that gives me even more reason to push on for anybody who has chronic disease of any kind. The first thing people should be looking at is their gut microbiome. It really is. But I'm excited to come back to Tarbert, actually, because it was great fun last year.
That was so much fun, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
what was so nice was, like, for people like yourself that give so much, and include me as well in that, was we just got to meet all these other amazing people and really have a very therapeutic weekend for ourselves.
Oh,
And that was
absolutely.
I hadn't really thought about. So everybody, it's a real win-win-win situation. And this year we've got the main marquee that we had last year, which will be all the kind of bigger movement stuff, the dance, yoga, qigong, all the different amazing modalities we're having there. And then out at the Westloch Tarbert, we've got the Come and Meet. So obviously you'll be talking there, you'll be talking about the Wellbeing Hub, you'll be talking about ferments, and people can come and actually meet you, which I think is really powerful. And then obviously you'll be at the Gather, which is where it's family, child and dog friendly area, which is all
Yeah.
stuff totally dedicated to the family's health and fun, because you know me and you, we're a bit fun.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's the thing. What's the point if it's not fun? It's the same with the food. If it's not delicious, I'm not eating it. Life is too short. So I only eat stuff that I really enjoy. And again, the thing is, and people often think, oh, if you eat like all the plants, is that not really boring? And I'm like that. No, is it? Heck, it's the exact opposite. The abundance of all the incredible foods that I eat on a daily basis, including all the forage stuff and the wild garlic, the flavors that you get are absolutely incredible. And and it's to me, as people, there's so many people that are eating a really limited diet. That is boring, with hardly any variety. There's hardly any diversity, and that's the key thing when it comes to health. It's that diversity, and you only get that through eating seasonal stuff. You only get fibre from plants, so you need to be eating a shed load of plants, eating the rainbow, all of the colours. But it's just great fun, and it's not complicated, and it doesn't take you ages either, because I make loads of things. I'm putting some things in a blender. I make pestos, I make dips, fermented stuff. Once you've got a few jars of ferments in your fridge, they last for months. But they shouldn't be there for months, because you should be eating them, to be honest. I do say that to people. Don't just make them and look at them and admire the beautiful colours. You really only get the benefits if you actually eat them. But I mean, for kids, that's the key thing for kids as well, though, because you can do like carrot kraut, which is absolutely delicious. Most kids like carrots. You can do carrot sticks, you can ferment them, serve them with some dips, different colours, and get kids engaged because they look really vibrant. Pineapple turmeric sauerkraut, it is the most beautiful yellow, vibrant colour. And
Yes.
again, for me, it's get the kids in with all the colours and the vibrant things. They want to come and try them. You know, but I've all sorts of stuff for kids. I do like kombucha ice lollies, wee fruity, you know, kefir smoothies, all sorts of different things. So I will be bringing a wee selection of things up for the kids one.
Fantastic. Because I think, you know, I always say to people, a lot of what you do and what I do, it's not rocket science. It's reminding people to keep doing it. And I think the colour thing is really key, because I used to notice when people come into our wild medicine cafe, you would have just a salad with some wildflowers, and you could actually see people's body respond.
I know.
And you're just like, you know, that's innate. It's like the body's like, get that into me.
That is so true. It's so true, Lily. And the same thing happens when you actually eat it. And to be honest, I mean, I have done so many workshops over the years. I've very rarely ever come across anyone who actually doesn't really enjoy the fermented stuff. And people have an idea in their head that, oh, it's just like, well, it's like salty, sour cabbage. Who wants to eat that? But, you know, the key thing for me is the variety that you can get if you follow a few key rules. I don't know why in Scotland we're not making sauerkraut all the time, Lily. I still don't get it. We grow cabbages year round. They're cheap as anything. Scottish folk love salt. Surely everybody's got a glass jar. That's all you need. And then you can have fun adding other stuff in.
When you put it like that, it is so simple and it is so cheap. And as you say, you're taking a good food and you're making it better, even
absolutely.
More. And you know, yesterday I had Jane was here for lunch, my friend Jane, right? And we had roast beef, but we had like the whole rainbow of the you know, all the vegetables and the krauts and the just different dressings I've made with tons of raw veggies. You know, so it's not that we're just not just saying just eat this. But it's Kelly Turner does it in her radical remissions courses. She kind of shows a plate of food that's usually got, you know, meat, potato, peas.
Yeah.
You know, just slide the meat back a little bit. You know, maybe take a tiny wee bit of the potatoes and just add in a lot more diversity and colour. And I think for most people, you know, you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours. And I think that's that big message. It's quick, it's cheap, it's, you know, and it does the body so much good. And nobody, unless you're hiding under a rock, doesn't understand about the microbiome now, and it's linked to anxiety and depression and also all autoimmune disease.
Yeah, so everything.
There's never been a more powerful time to learn and understand it. And I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Janice, but they're reckoning even just 1 tablespoon of fermented products a day is going to have an impact.
Absolutely.
So we're not.
And that's the key thing. That's the key thing, Lily, is it's not about, you know, people like, oh, I'll make a jar and then I'll just eat it and then I've totally sorted my gut out. Because as we know, your gut microbiome is not a static thing. It changes on a daily basis and an hourly basis, depending on your stress levels, what are you eating, what are you drinking. And so for me, it's an ongoing thing. You know, good health, it's not a destination, it's a journey. And we have to make choices every part along that journey. And the thing is, if we've got any disease, any chronic disease or anything, then we need to make more better choices for ourselves. You know, but the thing is for me is once you start to eat these foods, you don't want to be without them because they just make you feel so blooming good. You know, and that's the thing. But again, okay, I do eat sauerkraut every day because I love it. And I've got a fridge full of all different types of sauerkraut. I mean, this morning I had poached eggs with sourdough, poached eggs, avocado, nettle seeds, seaweed flakes, and 2 different types of sauerkraut. And that is absolutely delicious to me. One of my lovely Wellness Hub ladies brought me eggs from her own chicken. So I thought, great, I'm having them. And you know, the other thing, Lilia, is I think there's too many people trying to tell people that you have to eat a certain way. My main message is to people is you have to eat real food, actual food, whatever that means to you. If it's meat, if it's fish, if it's eggs, go for the best quality you can get. But the issue is an awful lot of the, you know, the meat and the dairy and the eggs that we're buying in the supermarket, as you know, are just not good for us at all because of the way that they've been produced. So in my mind, it's safer going for the veggies. We do need to be eating loads of veggies, but absolutely, if people can supplement that with, you know, decent meat and fish, absolutely right. There's no one right or wrong way to eat. And I think that's a real issue because everybody thinks, oh, I don't want to give up this or I don't want to give up that. And it's not about that. It's about what can you add in And if you add in more and more of the good stuff, then even if you're eating stuff that maybe isn't quite so good, your balance is still going to be okay.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And people used to come into our gym and say, "How long do you have to do this?"
Yeah,
And
exactly.
how long do you brush your teeth for? It's a maintenance thing, isn't it? And then I always say to people, there's two different kinds of diet. There's the healing diet, which may, in some cases, have to be pretty extreme. But then, and usually there's no meat or fish in there. It's primarily vegetables and a lot of fresh juice. But then there's the maintenance diet, which you can have. I'm a big believer in the 80-20. If you're
absolutely
doing it right, the body's very clever and will adapt. There is no real issues. And also, I think I loved what my friend John up at the Hebridean Inn said. He said, feeling better is not that far away.
Yeah.
He said within a couple of weeks, his bowel movements were normal again. And I had a friend with, IBS. And, within 4 days on a FODMAP diet, he was, having normal bowel movements and sleeping through the night. It's really, I think we've complicated it so much. Something that's actually simple. And as you say, the term whole foods, which I don't know if it didn't really sink into me, is just eat the food the way it was given to you by nature.
Absolutely.
And you can do your own processing. And also, I think we had to, obviously living in Scotland, you would have had to preserve food for the winter
absolutely
season. But and we used salt obviously for that. But also now with understanding, we have got brilliant science now about the different kinds of bacteria and how they can interact. We're not even a body, it turns out. We're a total ecosystem.
Absolutely.
So it's changing, from the Heal Scotland perspective. We've just done our Goddess Gathering tour, and it's very much about that. For me, it's like you're an electromagnetic field as well as an ecosystem. You're not just a big meat suit with organs dotted in that you can.
And that is so true, Lily. And the thing is, it's all connected. It's like if people go and they've got a problem with their kidney, but what about that? And again, it's all connected, and it's all connected to the gut, because that's like the powerhouse of your whole body. So any issue, if whatever your issue is, the gut should still be addressed as a first port of call. I think, I don't know. I think maybe we're getting slightly better, but it's still miles away. Lily, the number of people that I see that have been diagnosed with cancer, autoimmune diseases, and they're told nothing about diet, or they're told absolute rubbish. You've got cancer, never mind, it doesn't matter, you've got enough to deal with all your treatment, just carry on eating what you like, drink your wine, drink your iron brew. It's just wrong, and it makes me so mad, because I have seen the difference that it makes when people that are struggling with, diseases, cancer, one of them, and actually supporting their body through the treatment, as opposed to don't eat fermented stuff, and you're like that, what the hell, chemotherapy is totally toxic, it kills off all your healthy cells, loads of your stem cells, God knows what the hell it does to your poor wee gut microbiome, but these need to all be built back up again. And the best way to do that is by eating fermented foods. There was a study done, it's the microbiome medics, the two of them are friends of mine. I've just actually joined the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine as an associate, because there's loads more doctors and pharmacists and now actually coming into my field and sending people to my workshops, and they're coming to my workshops. I've got holistic vets, anaesthetists, doctors, loads of different people, and I've joined it because I know that they've got access to the most up-to-date research information. But again, an awful lot of it is there's still not a lot of practical information out there. And that's what I bring, because I live and breathe this stuff. I know how, and how you can make delicious fermented food that can totally turn your life around. And it is not complicated. You have to put your health first. For me, my health is my top priority. It always will be. So why do people not, sort of think that they need to put a wee bit of time aside? Because if you don't have your health, nothing else matters.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing that now. But I think you've hit the nail on the head there, because I always say this: knowledge doesn't heal you, action does.
You're so right. But that's the thing, people buy the book. I say that to people actually about my wellness hub, Lilia, because I've got people that have come into my wellness hub that have totally transformed their lives, because they've put the effort in. They've come in and thought, all this information, and I'll do, and even if you do one thing a week, And, you know, I've got people that have reversed all sorts of stuff, that have supported themselves through horrible treatment for cancer and come out the other end feeling pretty damn good. But I've got other people that will join and do nothing. And it's, if you don't change anything, nothing's going to change. You'll just feel exactly as you do now. And I think the other thing is, a lot of people don't realise how good they could feel. You know, and especially getting older, Lillian, I'm sure you see that as well. People that just think, oh, I'm getting older, oh, I'm going to get arthritis, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. And I'm like, that, absolutely no way. You can age well or you can age badly. It's a blooming choice. And the choice is, who are you feeding, the good guys or the bad guys? And again, what I was going to say quickly was, there was a study done, it's through the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine, and because there isn't that many actual studies still on the benefits of fermented foods. But, you know, this was one in particular, and they'd taken, I think, 60 people in each group. One group got them up in their fibre intake. The other group, they got them eating like 6 small portions of fermented foods, you know, in a day. They measured their gut microbiome for diversity. They measured their inflammatory markers in their blood, that's CRP. So anybody that's got any kind of chronic problem will have inflammation, so that will show up. And at the end of the month, they redid it. And what they discovered was the group that had upped their fibre to like 40 grams a day, that's quite a lot, had a small increase in the diversity of their microbiome and a small drop in the inflammatory markers. But the fermented group had a massive increase in the diversity of their gut microbiome and a huge drop. And it was a massive difference in the inflammatory markers. So the group that were eating the fermented food had way more benefit than the group that were just trying to eat a load more fibre. And here's the other thing, it's quite hard to eat a load more fibre, but it's not hard to eat a wee spoonful of a few different ferments. And that's the difference.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Monica Wilde talked about that. Do you know Monica?
Yeah, well, I know of her. I'm in the Association of Forest. I've never met her, but I know of her, absolutely.
She's something else, that woman as well. I mean,
I know.
What a story. She spoke at the Edinburgh Goddess Gathering. And she was talking about, you know, her and her, I don't know whether it's her partner, but her partner, just say, I don't know what kind of partner, did wild food for a year. Everything had to be foraged. Nothing could even come from the polytunnel. And the difference in their microbiome, I can't quite remember the stats. I need to get her back on to talk about it. And they're doing much. The big problem, as you know, I'm pretty sure with your wellness hub, Janice, is when people go home, you don't really know what they are eating.
Yeah,
people in a very closed and you know, contained environment. You've got to trust what they say, and then also we know that their emotional relationship with food. You can be eating good food and hating it.
I know.
You can be eating great food and hating it because you're thinking some, you know. So there's so many reasons why people get well and some people stay sick, and they seem to be doing the same thing, and that's what can be challenging about the data. And really, I keep saying to people, and Joe Dispenza says this as well, don't wait for science to tell you. Try it in your own body. And then, you know, you'll feel it very, very quickly. Is it too much to ask?
Of course you will.
And then see how you feel.
I know.
I think I mean, you're doing a phenomenal job. And I think we need these communities that you've created. We need them all over. I mean, the thing is, obviously, the brilliant thing now is we can do it online. So it means that when the kids go to bed, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep, you know, you can go on and you can learn the things you need to learn, or you can do the things. And but it's almost like the chicken and the egg. If you don't have a lot of energy and you're struggling, which a lot of people are right now with apathy and, you know, grief, and also just chronic autoimmune disease.
I know.
So, you know, it's getting them to that place, getting enough energy in order to make, you know, better choices. But as you say, why we wouldn't be prioritising that, why the government wouldn't be prioritising that.
Lily, I broke my wrist when I was out foraging for wild garlic. First time I've ever broken anything in my life, and I was in the hospital. And of course, I'm doing all the senior nurse was actually really nice, and we were laughing because I said, "Oh, I broke my wrist looking for wild garlic. I wasn't looking where I was going, tripped over a tree." You know, of course, everybody else had just like, you know, sort of slipped going to the toilet or whatever, getting up for the watching the telly, going to the toilet. I thought, well, at least my injury is quite on brand, you know. And I was saying to him as well, I know all the foods that support my health. I mean, I broke it 4 weeks ago. I broke 2 bones. It's still not right, but I mean, I've got no inflammation. I can move my fingers. you know, and I took homeopathic stuff. I'm getting all the bone strengthening foods in. I'm eating all my ferments, drinking all the kombucha, and I know that is healing incredibly well. You know, and he actually said to me, I wish we could get you in here, you know, because obviously loads of people with broken things that are still all drinking iron brew and doing all the stuff that's going to further, you know, detract from your bones. And what I'm trying to do is to try and support my body to heal the break, as opposed to, because our bodies are blooming miracle. We're meant to be able to heal ourselves. If we would just, you know, get out of our own blooming way and just allow our body to do what it is actually meant to do. And it's absolutely endlessly fascinating. And again, if we can just get the gut sorted out, your body knows what to do. You know, that's the whole point. I don't get it.
We don't do the healing. The innate intelligence that made us is clearly at work. And all we do is create the environment. But, you know, that's really great that they recognise, you know, that the value of nutrition, because so many doctors and nurses don't. And I think that we had a board meeting on Saturday, and Hilary was talking about, we're going to kind of update the website to be more relevant around what's happening now. And what we're trying to do is, we're taking a shocking health trajectory and we're going to turn it round. And we can do that. We're already doing it. You know, you can see it, I can see it, we can all see that. But, you know, a big part of it is belief. And if, you know, you talk there because you understand, and I'm exactly the same. Anything goes wrong with my body, my first thing is food. What am I doing? Obviously, I do a lot of emotional stuff as well, but basically you're going, I can assist in this process. I can make it easier for my body. But a lot of people don't believe that. And why do you think it would be that it's so easy to believe that you're powerless, but it's so difficult to believe that you're powerful and that you can heal? Why would you think that would be?
I know, it's so true, Lily. I don't know, because I mean, I follow a lot of your stuff, like all the emotion codes and all of that. I find it absolutely fascinating. So it's like, obviously, people are unwell because of a whole load of different things. Nutrition's a part of it, but as you say, also all the emotional stuff that people drag around with them all the time, that obviously needs to go as well. And again, it all comes back down to energy. But I don't understand either why so many people don't believe that they have, you know, the power to change anything. I don't know, and especially women. It's mostly women I have in my wellness hub, you know, and there's a lot of really empowered women that are making fantastic choices, but there's still the other ones, I think, that are not believing that they can actually make a difference. And that is just not true. We can all make a difference to our health. And it's never, as I said, it's about one thing and another, but you have to do something. You know, it's one step at a time. And what I say to people is, obviously, we have to eat and drink numerous times a day. So you might as well try and make a good choice there. A lot of the emotional stuff's maybe a wee bit more difficult to deal with, you know, and the stress, because living it is stressful with a lot of people with financial issues and relationship problems and all sorts of stuff. But again, you have to eat and drink, you know, numerous times. So at least try and make a few of those choices good choices. And again, that comes back down to, who are you feeding? Are you feeding the good guys in your gut? Are you feeding the bad guys? And again, I had that Zoe thing. I did the Zoe thing in November. And when they did the gut microbiome, my score was 96 for the gut microbiome. I had none of the pathogenic, none of the bad guys at all. I just had loads of these wee tough guys. And I'm like, that's great, because that confirms that what I'm doing and the way that I eat. Although, to be honest, if that test had come back and it wasn't good, I wouldn't have told anybody. I'd have been too embarrassed. But luckily it was excellent. So I was like, yes, thank you. But I know that because I feel really well. And that's the thing. I didn't really need to get that. I just wanted to do it because it's dead interesting. But I know, because I don't have any health problems. I have zero health problems. I'm incredibly well. You know, my bowels were a great digestive system. My mental health's really good. I don't have any health problems. And people just say to me, oh, you're just lucky. It's nothing to do with luck. My mum had like stomach ulcers, ulcerative colitis. She had all sorts of stuff. And my mum was a real worrier, you know, of a woman. And I thought, there's not a chance that I'm going to end up like my mum. And I'm not my mum. You know, and a lot of the time in families, people think it's genetic. It's habits. Habits get passed on from families to families, and an awful lot of the time it's the bad habits, you know, or the habits you can't. So I'm not a worrier. I don't worry about things. I just take life as it comes, you know. And again, okay, that's just one of the other things that impact your health.
But I think, you know, people can just see, because Claire's the same. you know, she's the real deal. She's the good life. She grows her own medicine. She makes her own thing. She's, you know, and you can just tell that from somebody when what they're telling you is what they live. And it's, you know, like, I'm the same. I couldn't possibly be saying, come on, guys, we can do this. I like to think that I'm honest and humble about it. I absolutely don't get it right all the time, but it's just that reminder we can do it. There's something that we can do today to help ourselves. That's
I mean, but that's the thing. And again, going back to the wellness hub, that's kind of what that is, because it's like there's a Facebook group. I just show up every day with what I'm doing. I mean, I do numerous things. I mean, breaking my wrist hasn't really slowed me down at all. I've just had to adapt. I was right in the middle of wild garlic season, and I'm like, I am not sitting doing nothing. I have too much to do. I've got my sourdough workshops. I'm still doing everything. But again, the thing is, it's just the best fun. I just love it, and I want to share it with people. You know, and then what is it? People will share by, oh, well, actually, I've done that. And people feel really pleased with themselves that they've actually made a good choice. And then they get nothing but praise from the group. Good for you. Look at that. And then other people might think, oh, actually, I'm going to go and do something as well, rather than just, you know, sort of just carry on doing nothing, not changing anything. And again, it's that showing up and motivating people and trying to inspire people with simple recipes, mixing it up with seasonal ingredients. You know, and as I said, it's not rocket science at all. It's just eating, you know.
When you see somebody else doing it, I remember one morning thinking, I'm not going in today, and then a wee message came up and somebody was in the cold water, and I thought, get in.
No.
You know, we all need a level of like that gentle boot up the backside to go,
absolutely.
You know you're going to feel better when you do that. And, you know, the reality is, we're living in quite challenging times, you know, that people are struggling for money, relationships are getting strained, God knows what is going on with everybody's health and with the government. So we need, right now, it's essential that we do everything we possibly can to navigate and to surf whatever's going to come over the next
I know. But the wonderful thing is, Lily, that's exactly what you're doing with Heal Scotland. It's giving people the access to the information. And again, as you say, you're cutting through a lot of that, don't have the money, don't have the time. A lot of the stuff you're doing, it doesn't cost you anything. You know, you have to breathe, go out and breathe, get out into the fresh air. Surely everybody can do that. And that's the thing. It's not about you have to do everything, you have to change everything, but you have to do something, you know.
Exactly. Do what you always did, you'll get what you always got.
That's exactly it. I know. And then the thing is, people slide back in. I mean, I've done it myself because I broke my wrist. So we've now got a big proper cold tub around the side of the garden and a sauna, but I can't get in it because I can't hold on to get in and get back out. So I'm using that as my excuse. But what I'm doing, I'm just dipping my arm in it. But it's absolutely freezing. I have to think, I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to get back in that at some point. So cold.
No, but I always say that, put your hands in and put your feet in.
I've been sticking my arm in it, and getting in the sauna. It's very nice.
My friend healed her frozen shoulder just by putting her hands in the ice. So, you know, it's hard because again, it's your hands are not, you know, isolated from the rest of your body. It has an impact. And of course, getting your hands and your feet cold is the first thing they're the sorest usually for most people. So no, so you are kicking off the festival, which is fantastic at West Loch Shores. So at I think it's 2:30 on the Friday at Tarbert Holiday Park. People can come and see you, and your talk will be sort of in two different parts. One about the Wellness Hub and the support and the inspiration that you can get there for literally a few pounds a week. And then also you're going to have some of your delicious snacks that people
absolutely, yes.
Try and taste for themselves and see the colours and see how the body feels.
That's what I love actually, Lilia, because it just totally gets people drawn in. It's like, okay, you can talk to the cows, come home, but when you can actually get people to see how to make something and then let them try it, and then you reinforce that with all the incredible health benefits, it's like, why wouldn't you do it? Because it just ticks all the boxes. And now, as I said, even with it, I always demonstrate, like I make a sauerkraut and a carrot kraut, because carrot kraut is ready in literally 7 days, you know, and carrots are ready available. Okay, cabbage kraut takes a bit longer, but again, you know, I've got a solution for everything. Or people like that, oh, kimchi, well, that's too spicy, I don't like it. It's like that, well, make it yourself and put less spice in it then, but you can add other stuff. So yeah, I love doing that, doing a wee quick demo, letting people see what it is. and letting people try, because again, I'll be bringing all my incredibly colourful, vibrant sauerkrauts and kimchis, and I've loads of wild garlic stuff. I'm making loads of like wild garlic and lemon kraut at the moment, carrot kraut with wild garlic and turmeric, all sorts of stuff. So I have many colours of beautiful jars that I'll be bringing with me, and I'll be bringing some stuff for the kids one as well, and that'll be like different things that people can try, you know, and show them how to do it. So
and inspire. I mean, from the Heal Scotland perspective, it's educate, inspire, support. So all of that is going to be there. So I cannot thank you enough for being there at the festival. I really so appreciate your presence and your support, and I'm delighted that we're going to get a kind of family area this year, and we can really start looking at, because with so many kids, you know, now having health issues, I think families in the area and any families that can come to the festival really benefit and appreciate. So we're going to all kids come free. It's just the adults that will pay a ticket price, and so it doesn't matter how many kids you have. You can bring them along.
You know what I actually find? I find that kids love massaging cabbage. They think it's great fun. You get a cabbage shredded up and put salt in it, because I remember I did a workshop once, it was in Castlemilk or somewhere, and I had taken some cabbage along, and it's like the kids were all loving it, and they were shouting to their pals, "Hey Johnny, come and see this, look, come and look at this," and they were massaging all the cabbages, so see who could get the most brine out of it. I don't know if they ate it or not, but they had great fun massaging it, I'll tell you that.
You often find, though, if they're involved in the it's like baking or making protein balls, if they're involved in it, much more likely, or if they grow it,
absolutely,
they're much more likely to eat it. So I think that's a really key point. And I think, you know, carrot sticks, I don't know any kids that wouldn't chew on them. To ferment them as well is just a fantastic, simple.
You're just adding a few more benefits, and again, having it with a dip, like beetroot dip. I'll make, maybe what I'll do, I'll speak to you later about that, but what I'll do, because I'm coming up on the Thursday, so I need to bring a load of stuff that I've got made up. So I'll speak to you about it, Lily, but it'll be fun. It will be fun. I do, as I said, what I love doing for kids in the summer is the little kombucha ice lollies, but I won't be able to do them because I've nowhere to freeze them. So I'll just have to tell people about it. But I'll bring some lovely water kefir, actually. Because water kefir is fantastic for kids. It is absolutely delicious. It's really fast to make it. And the one I make is, I call it Upmarket Orangina. I put fresh orange juice in it and usually some sea buckthorn or passion fruit. And that is absolutely delicious. So what I'll do is I'll bring a couple of bottles of my nice orange water kefir, and I'll bring the grains along, and I can show people how to do that, because that is absolutely delicious. And as I said, for kids, that's a wonderful thing. And you can actually ferment grapes in it as well. That's really funny. And then you get like fizzy grapes, and then you can freeze them, and then you can call them frapes. So you get a frozen fizzy grape. So that's quite fun. So I've no end to the fun things that I could be telling them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Well, listen, thanks a million. And I'm delighted to hear your wrist. I actually forgot you'd broken your wrist, because you look completely fine.
I just got on with it, Lily. To be honest, I'm doing far too much, but I don't care. I haven't time to be sitting about. I'm managing it. Look at the state of my hair. I can't dry my hair because I can't. It's that twisting action with the hair dryer. So I'm going to go and get it cut, because it's an absolute mess.
Never mind. I mucked up your appointment.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just going to go now. I'm just about ready to go and shoot off. So I apologise for the state of me, but I'm going to go and get my hair sorted now.
As always, listen, thanks a million for everything that you're doing for all these microbiomes all over the country.
Absolute pleasure. It's my passion, the same as yours, Lily. I'll never stop doing it. So I'll see you at Tarbert.
Yeah, thanks a million, Janice. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, no worries. Bye.